brand new year. Happy New Year. We welcome to the new year, and on behalf of the management and the team here, we want to welcome you to this new year 2024. It's a year that we all have been expecting that is going to come, and God has brought us to this year. And this year, it promises to be an interesting year. And of course, so far, we have seen the sign that it's going to be an interesting year, productive year, and a fruitful year. And I pray that it will be so for every one of us. Abby?
Yes, it will be so. I'm so excited again to start, Voters Forum 2024. Happy New Year to every of our viewers, and of course from Galaxy Television, from Voters Forum team, and of course the presenter and all our guests that have been on the show, and of course the ones that will be joining in 2024. We're wishing you a happy new year. Do not forget, we're streaming live on all our social media platforms at Galaxy Television. Please, you can subscribe, follow us, like, and of course join every of our program. You're welcome again. And don't forget, during the course of the program, there's, the discussion is going on, and you want to, drop one or two quotes, you want to drop one or two conclusions, or ask questions, ask our guests, or even us. Yes, it's very welcome. There will be a number that will be displayed below your screen TV where you can send those text messages to. Please do not call that number. Just send a text message, indicate your name and where the message is coming from. Thank you very much for joining in.
Yes, thank you for joining in. I am Wale Ogunade, your host on this program. We'll quickly go to the mini feature, and when we are back, we'll unveil our guest. It's an interesting package we have for you today, and our guest is equally an interesting person. I don't know, by the time he starts now, we're so interesting that we won't want him to go away. So let's get cracking. The mini feature, don't go away. Today's issue will be centered around budget. We're in the season of budgets. The federal and the state governments are busy presenting their budget, or some of them are presented. And in some cases, the State House of Assembly has even approved some, and some are still in the mill. And to us, what is budget? And how is it that budget implementation, we don't see it in real terms in the life of the people? What we know is that every year budgets are being made, and what is a budget? It's about the statement of income and expenditure. And what we see is that, yes, government will say they want to do this, they want to do that, they want to do this, they want to do that. The government officer, either the president or the governor or the chairman of the local government, will come out and read out figures, billions, trillions. And all of us sometimes will just go gaga. These figures at the end of the day, like just this December that just passed, you find out that there is nothing on ground. We will develop, we will construct, we will provide, we will do this, we will do that. All at the end of the day, nothing. But you see it in the life of the government officers. New vehicles, their wardrobes, their looks, traveling all over, both within and outside, their feeding, parties, so many things that they do that to their own benefit. But to the people, giving the short end of the stick. Is that how it should be? We have brought, that's the issue we are looking at. And we have no other person than Barrister Evans Ofili to help us look at this issue today, and many, many others. And of course, we expect you to participate through your text messages. Please, no calls, don't flash us, I beg of you. We are in the new year, don't let's start new year with flashing. God help us.
Yes, I actually want to welcome Barrister first, Barrister Evans Ofili. Happy New Year, I must say. It's first time on the show. It's good to have you here today.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, so my brother, budget. Maybe you just break it down. Don't go too legal. Maybe next week, if God helping us, we'll go legal. Looking at the constitutional and the legal implication. How before they dip their hands into, before they spend any money, getting the approval of the House of the National Assembly in the nation or the State House of Assembly. But just let us calm down. I want my people to understand. That's it. That's the whole essence of this program.
Yes.
Then we'll now, maybe by the grace of God, next week you now can go bring your coming quote suits, papa, bring your wig and gown if you like. We'll turn this place into a court. You begin to renchi. But today, local, please.
Yes, a budget is simply a statement of intention. A budget is not accumulated wealth or funds in a warehouse, where government will just go and start to dish out funds and be spending. You know, in fact, this same 2024 budget, a huge chunk of the projection is going to be borrowed funds. If you look at it, it's there. Part of it is going to be to service already existing loans. Okay, and it's a statement of intention. Intention means government intend to spend 28 trillion. That is what it means. 28 trillion. It was initially pegged at 27 trillion. But because governments and executive, budgets and executive bill, what executive bill means is that it emanates from the executive, from the president, then to the National Assembly, as against normal, usual bills, they emanate from the National Assembly, then the president for his assent. So it was pegged at 27 trillion plus before the president now took it to the National Assembly for their oversight. Oversight as predicated in section 88 and 89 of the Constitution. They have that function to look at the budget and make input. Okay, so as by the time we go to the National Assembly, the price of crude increased. Okay, and the budget is supposed to reflect your current circumstances.
Yeah.
So the National Assembly looked at it and increased it from 2 points, from 27 to 28 plus. Because they have to capture the reality, because the budget is pegged on our national income, and our highest yield on national income is the crude oil, and that is what it is pegged at. So now we have 28 trillion to deal with. Now, but when you look at the content of the budget, you see that recurrent expenditure is still, far away above capital expenditure, and that is a budget that is technically on deficit. What does this mean? We have a huge chunk of our budget on recurring, that is expenditures that are important, that whether there's money or not, you must pay salaries.
Yes, of course.
You must pay workers salaries. You must take care of those recurring needs. And then you have statutory transfer of 1.7 trillion. Statutory transfers are funds that are compulsory that they must go to MDAs. Virtue of recreation of statute and law. So those ones will go on by compulsion. And some institutions have their budget on first line charge. First line charge will not matter whether the country is on fire. The National Assembly have theirs on first line charge. Whether the country is gone or their money will be transferred to them first before they discuss whether the country is gone or not.
And all these things cannot be scrapped at all.
No, that there are issues of law. Okay, so largely we are heading to a point where because we have not cut down the cost of governance, we are practicing bicameral legislature. What does that mean? You have two houses, the upper house and the lower house. Okay, both of them presiding over the issues of governance. So when you have that kind of legislature, the cost of governance is high, actually, and people are making suggestions that there should be a way to cut down wastages, because not too long ago we came out from supplementary budgets for 2023. There was a supplementary budget, which a huge chunk of it was on profligate expenditure, like yachts, like president's wife vehicles and all that. Those are, we're not acting like we're going to build a country or we're rebuilding a country. Even if you look at the current budget too, you will find out that are not different from the ones before it. Okay, government is talking about critical infrastructure, but the realities on ground show that a huge chunk of the money is to go into deficits. Issues that we're already indebted to.
Yes.
And then the meager part that's for capital expenditure, most of the time, when it is released, is diverted. When you use for projects, sometimes projects are not completed. Sometimes they are completed, but their quality is lacking in quality. sometimes the issues are that performance. We've never had a budget of 80% performance.
So,
between 30 to 35.
So that's the problem, and that's why this topic, and that's why we want it to be really trashed, so that maybe we can use it as a benchmark. Now that we have a new budget, the circle will be seen, how we the people too will be involved in the budget implementation, because year in, year out, budgets are read, they are presented, they are approved, and we don't see it. Let me tell you, and of course for all who know, there are some infrastructures that ever since I was a kid, a 6-year-old or less than 10-year-old, I know that they've been talking about it till today, and above 60.
Yeah.
I am above 60, in fact I'm 62. Yet this thing is still there. If the number one is Mambila, and I do, you two have the opportunity. You two have the opportunity of going around this some countries outside Nigeria. The other day I was outside Nigeria. I can't remember. Maybe I was in Australia. I can't remember the country. Not a minute did electricity vamoose. But in Nigeria, it's the order of the day. In fact, I don't know. Maybe it's a deliberate thing. As soon as you land at Muritala Mohammed, as soon as you land, heat will salute you. And of course, you will know that the conveyor belt will not be working, things will not be working. At worst, if there is light, they will tell you that it's on generator.
So it's our unwillingness to make things work. In places where things work, the people are so conscious about making it work. Okay, but here, we have this general unwillingness within the ruling class to ensure that these things don't work. Because otherwise, if you budget for electricity, there are places in the world where you have constant power supply. So we can replicate it here. In fact, there are some countries where children believe that electricity is a natural phenomenon, that is planted, that is not generated. It's like it's just like you have trees.
It's weird for them not to see light.
Yes. So they don't understand what it means to be in darkness. Okay, we can do that here, but over the years, it's been one battle to the other. It's been a battle between darkness and light, and darkness have won most part of the battle, because we've always been in darkness. Now politicians will come in here and here out, come in, go, and the situation is the same. The situation is the same because some people profit from it. They profit from that darkness.
Sorry, my brother. What of those who are the victim? Yeah, those who profit. Yes, the politician.
Yeah.
What of we, the victim, the people? Yeah,
the victims.
Is there something that makes them to be perpetual victims? Yeah,
we have become so used to it. Otherwise, we should be having peaceful protests because of power supply. In South Africa, they did it not too long ago. The ESCOM and the shenanigans around it, the part of South Africa they didn't have light for 1 week. And there was a widespread protest, okay, to call government attention to the fact that this is not normal, okay. But here, we don't, because most people were even born into it. Right. So, most people, especially those who were born in the 80s down here, cannot tell me that they know what good governance is. Not possible. I don't know what good governance is. I'm 44 this year by April. I don't know what good governance is. I only read it in textbooks. I don't know what it means. So it's unfortunate. Imagine dying in this country and not knowing in your whole lifetime
what a good governance is.
Not knowing what it is to have potable water, light, to have a country with a dream.
Maybe you have instigated me. I've told people that this year, particularly if I'm on this program, I won't act as a lawyer. I will just be the normal host that I am. But the lawyer in me and the activist in me can never sleep.
Yeah, now you know that what law does to you, the first thing law does to you is to radicalize it. Especially because when you are in a country.
You touch on that saw. That saw that is in section 12. Please, can you just give us that chapter 12 of the 1990 section 12 of the welfare.
Yeah, section 14.
Section 14, right?
14 subsection 2.
The security and welfare.
It is hereby accordingly declared that sovereignty belongs to the people, through which government derive her legitimacy, that the security and welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government.
My brother, it's okay that I want to know where we are going is that the welfare
of the people.
Security.
The people.
And the budget.
Yeah, we have absence of that. That means you don't have a government. That's what it means technically. Because the security and welfare of the shall is compulsory, be the primary purpose of government. So when you don't have security and you don't have welfare, what happens?
Who suffer?
Yes.
So fella was right.
Yeah, it means government have
suffer.
Technically speaking, of course. Technically speaking, what we have is just representation. The representation is not yielding results because the ruling class are not conscious of the led. You understand? You see, leadership must be redefined. Okay, it's not enough to gloss through the theory of it. When Jesus led the disciples, before he left them, he had established the true principle of leadership. But there was a day he took towel, put it in water, and washed their feet. They were surprised. After that, he told them that the Son of Man came to serve and not to be served.
I didn't know
he wanted to drive that into their, you see, the physical expropriation of it into their mind. So he drove it into their mind, and they got to understand another dimension of this very great fellow washing our feet. So that is the true practical exhibition of leadership. Now, what the leaders are supposed to do in Nigeria is to turn it around. Okay, just last week they were almost fighting for rice. Yes,
I was going there. Is that how it should be?
Yeah, so it does. See, that is one of the attributes of a slave. One of the attributes of a slave is that he's so conscious of his survival that he loses his essence and reputation. So he can do anything to gather a mass, because he wants to preserve his survival. In doing that, he loses his humanity. That's the problem they have. And I think they need help. Many of them need help, okay? Because they are not acting like people who, what will it take, how much does the average Nigerian need really to survive and live a good life? We are so wealthy that we may not have the money to take everybody to space or to take everybody to live under the waters because of the luxury of it. But to feed, develop ourselves and our career and live a good life, we have that fund. That fund is there. So, but we have not been able to deploy it. Okay, we can deploy it, but we have not done that. There's no attempt on redistribution of wealth. There's no attempt at that. So this budget you see now is just one of the budgets that, in fact, at the risk of not sounding very hopeless, they just go to the previous budget and edit something and print it and then start, and also it tells you that if a budget, the budget you are editing now, that one did not perform. It's the same spirit.
This one too.
Yeah, it's into this. So it's not going to perform because the agenda of government is not people driven. And the people themselves have given up on their own hope.
Let me, as you are talking again, you brought some idea into me, you inspired me. Before I was thinking this thing is an African problem. But the other day I was in Rwanda, Kigali and Kigame's miracle. I found out that no, things can be done. Let's leave Dubai. We'll say Dubai is another thing because again Dubai was a no-go area before it became a wonderland. But we are talking about Africa now. So obviously it's not an African thing that yes, leadership is a problem in Africa. Is it then deliberate, or just because to me I want to look at the people? Is there a way the people can say no, enough is enough? That's why I look at this topic, that can we now turn this topic, using this topic, that people are watching, that they will say, okay, oh, yes, we must ask for a recycling, the way the budget is implemented, so that we look at it, even if it's, you said it's 25, 35%, if we can move it to maybe 75%, 80% implementation, is it possible?
Sovereignty belongs to the people. The law already inform you that you are government. You understand? But the people are they are very misdirected. Many persons or people do not think they have the power they have. You understand? Why did they come to your doorstep during the election to ask that you donate your mandate?
By voting.
Yeah, by voting. So that is the right you actually have to call them to order. But we don't do that. Most people have given up. That if you call out government, they will come and kill you, or if you do this, they will oppose you. Then a huge chunk of them outrightly sold their votes.
That's right.
Yes. So the politicians now have the rights to use your collective patrimony to dance around. Okay, buy bulletproof cars. You know why they're buying bulletproof cars? Because they have failed the people.
Yeah.
They need to be in that car, to create that Fox security thing for themselves, a fake security protection for themselves, because they know that any day the people rise, there will be a problem.
Yes.
Just like last week, early this week, they were talking about, because some persons were saying ordinarily we should be buying fuel for 1,200. Because of the landing costs and all that. Some of the marketers were doing that. Before you know, they were panic buying and all that. And I called my friend on a TV station and said, see, government cannot try that.
They can't.
They came out the next day and said, no, we did not say.
Like
you know why government cannot try that? If that happens, a loaf of bread will be 5,000 naira to start with. It's not the fuel. The increase in the fuel is not the issue.
Yes, it's the
now, the bottled water you buy will be like 3,000 for one. You understand? So the government cannot contain this population with that economic adventure. They play. Just go there. You understand? Go there. That is when you will not. As we speak now, people cannot even feed.
Of course, yes. Very
people
true.
cannot feed. So when you now begin to try yourself with the 1,000, no, you can't go there. You see, I am a strong advocate of subsidy. Government should continue to pay it as punishment for making sure our refinery does not work. You understand? In this budget, what is the attempt in this budget to make our refinery work? There's nothing like that.
And maybe.
So where are we going to?
Where are we going to?
We'll be
supposed to be there.
We'll be looking at this issue of subsidy in subsequent editions, because it's a big issue.
It cannot go away.
Vis-a-vis, because to me it's mad that I have just put it practically. I have 2 cars. Then I deliberately run my vehicles down and now start going to pick public transport to move around. Obviously, it won't be convenient.
It will not be convenient.
So, to me, I guess there is something wrong somewhere in the head of all those who are managing this thing. Because it's quite bad that you have refineries, you leave them to rot, and you are telling me turnaround is not possible, and now we now import to my own detriment. And meanwhile, my problem is that they schedule everything into the international market. When prices are falling, it does not reflect in Nigeria. I don't know. I don't understand.
It does not reflect. You see, all those countries that made up OPEC, none of them refine their fuel outside their country.
It's always in their country.
So the reason it will not reflect here is because those decisions, what would have gotten us advantage and edge to us, have been consumed by transportation. We're exporting and importing. You understand? So whatever should count for us as an advantage have been lost on transit.
It's okay. Let us go on a short break. Okay. Then when we come back, we'll now be on the homeward stretch, and we'll now see how we can just drive this one home. Thank you. Don't go away. It's still Voters Forum, and of course our guests will just want to take water. Me too, I want to take water because the thing done the day somehow here. Don't go away. It's been an interesting discussion here over the glass of water that we've taken. And of course, it's not something cheery, really. It's not cheery. But be that as it may, we will want to cheer you up out there. And the whole thing is that, your destiny, you have to take your destiny in your hands. By ensuring that the implementation starts, which is when we see that indeed the budget that has been presented is implemented, then we'll move forward. And of course, my brother, there's what we call the Freedom of Information Act.
Yes.
Is there anything, does it have anything to do with what you are saying? Can one use it to get information concerning how the budget has been implemented?
Yes.
Because before I came to the studio, again I saw the EFCC boss was talking to some stakeholders that they will have to account for the monies that they have taken.
Yes.
I don't know, maybe one can marry all this together.
that is accountability. Yes. Talking about those MDAs that have gotten funds repeatedly, and you cannot see a reflection of that in their ministry or what they oversee.
Their activities.
The activity and what they oversee. You can't find that. So there should be, I mean, part of what is going on with the minister, the former minister for disaster and whatever management.
She was a disaster.
Yes, and the other one
Disaster
too. There's another, the other one that has to do with welfare or something.
Infrastructure.
Yes, so they're probing
Social
them.
infrastructure.
Yeah, they're probing them. So, and this is what it should be. It should go round, okay? It should go round to all ministries.
Because I remember during the COVID thing, we made some noise about it, but the whole thing died.
Yeah, because one of them came out and said that she was feeding school children during the COVID.
I wonder how they probe them after probing them and find out that it is not what it is. What do they do after that?
Let's look at let's first of all get probe first. Then we'll now know how it goes on.
Prosecute them.
We'll see how it goes.
If they are not guilty, they should go.
At least we are taking a step further, unlike before that it was swept under the carpet. Now they are taking a step, probing them. Let us see after the probe what will happen.
What will happen?
Will they be made to bring back the money? Will they be made to go to jail for it? Will they be used to as a scapegoat for some other persons?
The probe sometimes have yield results. You know, we saw what is going on with Emefiele. The former Accountant General of the Federation returned money. This one I promised to return money. And some of them went and plea bargain, whatever it is. The federal government is able to recoup part of and lose the other and all that. But the most important thing is that the Nigerian citizen in the mix of this whole thing, the Nigerian citizen have to choose between his docility and his ability to demand for what belongs to him by law.
But don't you think because of the lawlessness, or how do you even get to meet these politicians and still put them under the law because they are not above the law? Don't you think that's the reason why most Nigerians are not saying anything? Because I'm saying this because, like you said, you have traveled out a whole lot, and you find out that when Nigerians get there, they obey most of their rules, even though they break some, but they still obey as much as possible because they know if you do not, you're facing the law. But here they feel that if they do it, if the politicians do that, they end up not probably facing the law. They talk and everything is swept under the carpet. But once a Nigerian, even still in the market, the whole media already knows about it and the person is already facing the law.
Yes, but you won't say because of that you now resign to fate. You must keep trying. You see, because this is our collective patrimony. It's commonwealth of the country. If the senator is driving a bulletproof car, we all should be driving on bulletproof cars. Yes, you understand. The wealth is for the general citizen. So, but for you to now abdicate your rights, make waste of your mandates and your civic responsibility, allow them to keep fleecing your. Even one of the leaders, Rotimi Amechi, said it before. Said the reason government embezzle money a lot because we don't stone them. He was inciting the public against the leaders. Now you don't stone them. So I'm not saying you should go and start throwing stones at them. But what I mean is figuratively, we should begin to make demands. Yes. We should
how they have been running
make demands. The ones that are lawmakers, how many laws have they put in place
to alleviate, them a blank check.
Alleviate your poverty and all that? So
and nobody asks
what is the, you see, in all this, what must not happen to you in Nigeria is for you to fall sick. Because there is no public health care. There is no insurance. There is nothing. Even the ones leading you obtain those privileges abroad. They pay heavily for it with your collective patrimony. But when you are sick, you are confined to your sick bed in your home, and it's you and God. You understand?
Mine just died 2 days ago. High-profile colleague that we work together. Even is an on-air personality. Short sickness, short illness, and he just died like that.
Yes.
Before help could reach him. Just like that.
Just like that.
What you said.
Just like that. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of these deaths were supposed to be preventable.
And the irony of it,
avoidable.
The irony of it is that years ago, when I was a small kid, the UCH Ibadan was a center of excellence.
Yes.
And I learned, I was a small kid, I don't know anything, but I learned that expatriates, Europeans.
Yes, even the one in Benin.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Even the one in Lagos, you know,
So
now, they were coming here to work.
What now changed the narrative because of what?
Our decline started by the military regime. And when the military left, the civilians came and consolidated on the decline. We didn't go back to redefine, to revamp what we already had.
Yeah.
No, what the colonial masters left for us, we were not doing badly when they left. Okay, but when just few years after they left, between the 1963 and January 1st, 1966, when the military took over, from January 1st, 1966 to date, it has been decline. Can imagine being on steady decline from 1966 to date. So that's what we've had. We've not had re-interventions. We've had one or two ministries, or maybe sometimes you have maybe one accidental leader who is well-intentioned, like the Akunyilis, who handle one side, but you don't have many of them at the same time. You understand? So you cannot progress that way until you have a collective, an aggregate of people who want a difference and who want to take the vision to the next level. We didn't have all that. We lost all that. So the fear now is that if you fall sick in Nigeria, there are countries where you fall sick, you just close your eyes and wait for the government. No, countries where you just wait for the government.
Oh, other countries, yes.
Yeah, so you just wait for the government to come and South Africa here, public health care is free. It does not matter whether they are removing your whole lungs and put another one, it's free. Government budget for that one or two citizens will have kidney issue, one will have this, one will have that. Government have taken care of that, yes.
It's not spent.
It's not touched. No, you go there, delivery is free. Delivery, childbirth is free, yes.
Wow.
100% free. So that is a country. You understand? This country is in Africa. This country's GDP is lower than that of Nigeria. So what's the problem? This country does not have crude. It doesn't have crude. We are in a very big. In fact, the rot we are into, if only we can appraise and benchmark with other places of the world, we will know that the rot we are into is one that calls for serious concern. We should summon our leaders. They should all be summoned. They should explain to us what it takes to have public health care, for example, what it takes to ensure that children are vaccinated. That we just came out from polio not 2-3 years ago. Okay, we're not even supposed to be there. You can imagine being ranked with India in those countries with moribund population, heavy population. We're being ranked with them in all those areas. So infant mortality rates, maternal mortality rate, you know where it is now in this country? We're told that in every 50 women that give birth to child, about 50% of it
lose their child.
Lose either their child or the mother. You understand? 50%. So it tells you that any area you are not doing well, it will show in the casualty level. The misery index is unimaginable. Not only can people not feed, people cannot access medical care when they fall sick.
Okay.
It's only under a situation of war. That's when you witness that kind of thing. It's only under war condition that you witness that kind of thing.
Let us begin to round up on this note, so that I want to ask some touchy questions, and I know you're up to the task. And that's because my own is that is the people that have failed in their responsibility. I don't know, maybe because it's me, maybe because, but even before I became a lawyer as a kid, I asked questions. I ensure that whenever I'm somewhere and I see things are not done right, I ensure that that thing is done right.
Yes.
So, well, maybe when I grew up, I wanted to travel the other day, and the airline was messing up. You know how they do. Sometimes they'll begin to shift the goalpost, the time, and so on. When I went, I have a very important meeting. If I miss that meeting, I'm going to sue people out of existence. They took me aside. Okay, don't worry. The next available flight, they put me on it. Because I spoke. I wanted to make noise. They said, please, okay, don't worry. We'll take care of you. And indeed, they took care of me. But I now imagine when every one of us asks questions. Sometimes I'll go to a place, they will ask, like maybe there was a petrol station not far, there is a petrol station not far from here. I don't know, maybe you know. Now, they will station some POS people in the petrol station. They will not have their own POS machine. I don't know, maybe you have experienced
So
it.
that you can...
They will be charging you instead of you buying. So all those things, when I got
And
there,
they share proceeds with
I bought my fuel. They now said that I should use my POS. They now brought out the POS. I slot it. They now put charge. I said, not on your life. I guess I bought fuel for maybe 10 or 20,000 or so. I pressed the 20. They said they were not going to. I said, if not, I'm driving off. If you don't take the 20,000, that I am not going to pay any extra. It is deemed that the POS is for this station.
Yes.
They agreed, and I left.
They will agree. Then other persons
Will now pay.
They will pay.
So, and that is what has taken us to this level. Why is it that Nigerians will keep quiet and they will be cheated? I remember in Ondo State, some years ago, I can't remember, maybe this president, Akoredolu government did it, but I remember in Mimiko, maybe because he was a medical doctor, childbirth was free. I guess it's the only government in Nigeria that practices it.
Yes.
I don't know, maybe they still do it. But that novel thing in South Africa, can't it be replicated here, even if it's put it in the budget?
It can be replicated. In fact, the people have a right to health. Okay, they have a right to access medical care. Is also there in the Constitution. Okay, when fundamental objective and directive principle of state policy is there, you understand. But it's not put to practice. You understand. The day you take government to court, they'll tell you that it's not justiciable. It's not justiciable, but you have acts, different laws on public health care. You understand. The reason I talk about public health care is because people who are comfortable fall sick, let alone those
who are not comfortable.
Now, how many percent of us in Nigeria are comfortable? So we should take public health care as an emergency very serious. Okay, so it has a way of scaling up your what do you call it, life expectancy. So it's at 40-something today because you don't have that. You can't access it. Then the general welfare of the citizen, you don't have all the indices of the first world country. You don't have, which is meritocracy, access to credit, public health, and the rest of them. We have zero. We don't have any of it. So we cannot even be ranked under a developing country. On a good scale, we're not developing. We're not. You understand?
So we're a failed state? Can we say we're a failed state?
Well, it does.
In a situation where everyone is suffering,
failing,
just as I said with my co-host some 2 seconds ago.
We're a failing state. Yes. It's a continuous decline. We are failing states.
Because let me tell you, and I'm sure, fortunately, you are from the part of the country too that Christmas is seriously celebrated. I come from a Yoruba stock, and of course not just the Yoruba stock, the Jebu tribe. If anything, we are social animals. The Christmas is that time. It's the time to celebrate. I remember when I was a small kid, jollof rice. All these other jollof rice you eat during the year, all those ones are fake. It is the Christmas jollof that is the original with chicken.
Yes.
It just disappeared, just like that this year.
Yeah, the economic reality did not call for it has become a luxury. You understand? And how many people can afford it?
How many can even afford to buy rice?
Yes, so a lot of people cannot afford it because, in fact, purchasing power is not there. Do you know that cost of living upscaled to about 300%? Within 2023.
Yes.
But the people's income didn't shift.
At all. Remain the same.
Okay. So now their expenses, has virtually consumed and left in deficit their earnings. So there's no disposable income.
Okay, can we help the government this way? I'm sure some of them are watching, that you government people, everything you have said in the budget, implement it. We, the people, will see that you move to that level. Can that change the narrative? Can things work? Because there's
implementing the budget, implementing the budget 100% is still a problem. Yeah, because implementing the budget will lead us into more debt.
How?
Hey, you chunk us it for borrow. We are going to borrow.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's assume
And
that
if you are
fuel, they are able to sell crude oil according to their budget.
Yes, if they say crude oil according to the budget,
And
they
do
are
not
still funding.
divert.
They are still funding that budget. Is that 28 trillion is because they have to fund it with borrowing.
With borrowing.
Yes.
Yes, let's assume now that of the 28 trillion, 60% that they said is going to come from the sale of crude oil is available without the diversion. Is it possible we will be getting out of the woods?
Are we
gradually?
conscious? No, the first question is, are we conscious of implementation of the budget?
That's where people will be. That's where we will come in.
Yeah, because just
for them
like
to implement so that we will not die.
Just like many, the 2024 Appropriation Act is a law, just like any other law. Okay, how many of our laws on fundamental rights that affect us directly have we called for implementation? It's the same as the budget now.
It's the same as the budget.
Yeah, the budget is even a human rights issue.
That's what I'm
It's a human rights issue, yes. So
that can we see to it that yes, this budget, because people like us we want to see that
the way we
enough
do it,
is enough.
Yeah, the way we do it is, so first of all, take the government for court for breaching the 2023 budget and performance.
Okay.
And then use that to call for this one to say that government.
In fact, you don't let my mind cool.
If you don't, because the truth is that
2023.
yes, you are not doing anything. You are not suing government.
You are
not fighting government. So why would they implement it?
No,
just wake up.
It's okay. Hold your gunpowder. Hold your gunpowder. You hold your gunpowder.
Our time is already up.
I told him not to talk like a lawyer. No, we're not talking as an activist. Maybe I scared him, but be that as it may.
Yes, thank you so much, Barrister Evans, for coming. It's been an amazing one. I really learned a whole lot when it comes to this budgeting. Although I still have a lot of questions, which Barrister did most of the talking because I think he has more, professional understanding of this. So, but I'll still say thank you so much for making people like us understand have a deeper understanding of what budgeting and implementation is all about. I hope we'll see you another time again to give us more the legal aspects, like Barrister said. Thank you again.
Yes.
And thank you, my viewers, for joining us. It's been an amazing one. My name is Ruth Blossom. Until next week, we'll see you. Bye for now.
Yes, until next week. It's been an amazing outing. Lecturer here, he has done a great job. I don't know how to thank you, my brother Evans.
Thank God.
A great job. And I know that by the grace of God keeping us next week, we'll try and see a follow-up to this issue, so that the issue of budgeting, we'll now see how we can make it work, so that Nigerians will begin to have an understanding of it and how we can ensure that we put those who are to implement it on their toes. But before then, till next week, I'm Wale Ogunade, your host on this program. Have a great week ahead, a great year ahead. Cheers.